This week's Torah Parsha reading is called Pekudei. In this Parsha, the Torah tells us how much of each material the Jewish people used to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle. Now, at the end of this reading, we find that the people built everything just the way God wanted, and they brought it to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu put it up, and as soon as he put it up, there was a cloud of the presence of God that filled the whole place. And the Torah says that Moshe Rabbeinu could not enter this place because it was filled by God, whatever that means. There was a cloud, whatever. Now, when you go into the next reading, which is called Vayikra, which it's a beginning for the third book of the Torah. Vayikra means, and he called. From this cloud, from this place, like full of God, God called Moshe Rabbeinu. Then he could enter, and God gave him a whole bunch of instructions about sacrifices, how to do it, when to do it, etc., etc. Not for now. Now we see. So at the end of Pekudei, there's like a concealment. There's a cloud concealing the presence of God, and nobody can enter this place, this Mishkan, this tabernacle. At the next reading, you have Vayikra, which means a revelation. When God says, "Come in, I'm going to talk to you," there's the revelation here. So we see concealment, and just afterwards a revelation. Every time that you have a concealment and afterwards the revelation is much more powerful than just revelation. You can see this with the father playing with the son, a small son. When the father says, Where's Tati? And the son says, I don't know where Tati is, and here's Tati. And the father shows himself. There's a very high level of excitement in the child because now he sees his Tati, his father. The same thing happens in all aspects of life. When you have a problem, when you have a crisis, that's a concealment of God's presence, a concealment of a solution, whatever. Then when light comes in, then when revelation comes in, when God comes in, when you know what to do about this, then the happiness is very strong, very powerful. The same idea we can apply to the concealment we live in this golus, in this spiritual exile. Exile means that God is concealed. We don't see him. We don't understand him. So when there's a very, very high level of concealment, like right now where the society doesn't have any values and it's very difficult to be a good person, etc., etc., in these times, is the closest, the most deep the concealment is, the closest we are to the light. Like when the night is finishing, it's because you're really close to the day. So right now we are in a very, very high concealment, a very high deep darkness. However, we have to know that after this darkness comes a very special light, and this light is the coming of Mashiach, the coming of our Savior, speedily in our days.